How did feminism lose its way?
Well, it did because it got woke and it got so radical and it got man-hating and rabid. But now it's gotten so radical that they've even taken out the man-hating part of it. And now it's just this mixture of BLM, Antifa, LGBTQ, throw in an acronym, and then the whole women's rights and women's empowerment has been completely left by the wayside. So who's going to really grab that torch and run with it? It's going to be conservatives who do believe in the integrity of women's sports, who do believe that feminine qualities should be celebrated and that biological women should actually be celebrated for being biological women.
Right.
That's conservative, and it's going to be for the next several years. We're taking it back.
Celebrated or even just acknowledged.
It just acknowledged it would be nice.
Tomi Lahren says if you stand up for womanhood, you better make sure it's the kind a man wants. Because being accepting of different definitions of womanhood, such as women not having to be tradwives or biologically female to identify as a woman, that's too woke. Well, no, it's exactly woke. And progressives have never shied away from defending that because we don't have ulterior motives to fulfill. What really bugs me about Tomi's degradation of wokeness is that it's so incredibly convenient, a crutch to lean on when Republicans sense the socio-political winds blowing away from them. But even worse, Republicans consistently co-opt progressive ideas, beliefs, and even language, either when it saves them politically or affects them personally. And I've got receipts. Remember when a crap ton of patriots got arrested and detained for being patriotic all over the Capitol and its police? That made a lot of Republicans frustrated with our lack of humanity in our jails and prisons.
Right now, what we have happening in America is a two-tier justice system. What's happening to these people being held in custody is wrong. It's unconstitutional. It's a violation of their rights. They have been beaten by the guards. They are called white supremacists. They are denied religious services, haircuts, shaving, the ability to trim their fingernails. Many of these people have never been charged for a crime before. Some of them are veterans. Imagine a group of men being held in jail with no idea of when they're going to go to court, no ability to bail out, no ability to see their family, being mistreated and abused worse than we treat terrorists at Gitmo. Yet they have their hand over their heart every night at 9 o'clock and sing the national anthem.
We all know MTG takes things personally, but especially when Papa Trump doesn't get a courtesy call before law enforcement enters his home with a warrant to take back sensitive documents that Trump stole. Total abuse of power. Take that FBI funding and move it to military spending. You remember COVID was a prime opportunity to victimize ourselves and stick it to our communities by refusing the vaccine, walking around unmasked and screaming, "My body, my choice," in leftist ears. Yeah, I'm sure immunocompromised individuals were thrilled to live amongst these freedom fighters. And when it comes to taking care of women, Mike Pence, who has no governing power anymore, read the tea leaves like 2 months after Roe was dumped and thought, oh, maybe women would be more amenable to giving birth if public supportive services were dangled in front of their faces, like a dog toy.
If you're going to be pro-life, you need to be pro-adoption. Cost to adopt a child in the United States can be as much as $70,000 to a family. This is a moral and legal failing by our country. It should not cost the average American worker more than a year's worth of wages to adopt a child. Let us tell our elected officials that as you move the law forward to protect the unborn, let us also redouble our commitment to provide care and support to expectant mothers, to newborns, and young families.
And lastly, in a real FU to female Republican Fox News viewers, Jesse Waters went on TV to rave about his parental leave after realizing it's not some dumb leftist handout.
But now I'm pro-paternity. I used to mock people for taking paternity. I used to think it was a big ruse, but now, I wish I could take 6 weeks.
But Republicans will never actually push for legislation that improves life for incarcerated non-whites, mothers, children, Republicans, independents, or Democrats. They look out for number one. We need our officials to call out this hypocrisy every chance they get, to show voters the Republican Party talks out of their ass all the time and is degrading government services for you while they personally benefit. And we the people need to point that out too. Let's vote these do-nothing dinguses out this next week, wherever we can.